Hey geeks, we wanted to revisit the XM Studios Venom and the Xionarts Hulk and do a little side-by-side comparison. One of the main things I wanted you geeks to see was the scale. And you know, I've got my fellow collector Diego, teammate, you know, he's been collecting with me for a while, and scale for us is such an important thing. We might actually sit back on the couch and just talk with you geeks, so you know, bear with us. We really want you guys to focus more on the statues and hear our voices as we discuss, you know, the little details between Venom and Hulk.
Okay.
So we'll start with you, Diego. I mean, yeah, I didn't put the Lazy Susan there because I figured, you know, you've seen the Hulk well enough, you've seen Venom well enough.
And again, you know, it's like Venom is just, in my opinion, is so much more impressive, only because everything is, you know, it seems proportionate. Remember our argument? I was like, why does his hands?
Some of the things are irreproportionate.
You know, like, yeah. Why does his hands? You know, why do they look so much bigger than his head? Right. The paintwork's phenomenal right here. You know, little small details. I mean, it's what counts. It's what collectors actually look for.
No, you actually pointed the perfect. That's it. I guess, you know, I hadn't figured that out. That was my complaint when we did the Hulk review, is that, you know, his hands were a bit big, his feet were big, his head was a little small. But when you put it next to XM, a licensed, well sculpted piece by XM, you see that Venom's hand would actually be the size of head, and actually you can make the argument that the head is bigger than the head.
Yeah, everything looks proportionate.
Yeah.
Yes, his muscles are massive. Yes, that's how it's supposed to be. But when you're disproportionate, you're like, yes, you know what? I do like
the sculpted back.
I like the sculpted back. Yes, I like the feet, or you know what? I mean, I like the veins. You know, I like how his biceps look. But when he just looks like he's drooping almost. Okay. You know, again, my comparison, I think when we did it, I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'll mention it now. If for those of you who have seen the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, he kind of looks like
Jekyll.
Yeah, Jekyll, Mr. Jekyll. You know, the way he just he looks like that. To where Venom, you know what? He's proportionate. His hands are a good size. You know, his arms are a good length. And then again, nothing's his head's not small. Everything's proportionate. You know, as far as, you know, with each other, they're proportionate. That's what I look at as a collector. Okay,
so before we look at any more details, so when you saw them from the front, did you feel like they displayed well together, their size?
What do you mean by that?
The scale, the actual scale. You know, Hulk is slightly bigger than Venom, but displayed from the front, do they display well together for you?
No, not really. I mean, well, again, you know, Hulk is always supposed to be this massive character. You know, you want Venom to be a little bit smaller as far as together.
Hulk?
Yeah. Okay. But if you're looking, you know, as far as if you're a collector just who likes size, you know, you want your statues to look, you know, like to stand out, but also be proportionate in size together. Well, then yes, you know, it's perfect. Okay. But if you're one collector that, you know what, no, Hulk should be taller. You know, he should be I mean, it's everyone's different. Everyone's different.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. I actually like the way they look. The fact that Venom's kind of lunging at you, Hulk's walking at you, about to be, and the size of them. I like the way they look from the front, and I look forward to when they're, you know, displayed in my collection side by side. Other than that, I mean, you basically hit this. The thing is the proportion of Hulk compared to XM. Now here I am looking for the back, and man, one of the things I'm liking about Hulk is the detail in the muscle fibers on the back of Hulk that Xionarts did. Yeah, you can see here. You can see the veins. I don't know if you can get back here, John. You know, but you know, just kind of look. But what's so cool, you see that X. Yeah. Yeah. The Christmas tree that Arnold Schwarzenegger always talks about. Yeah, you see this X right here. Yeah. And Venom has it, but it's not as pronounced as it is on the Hulk. Venom has a different kind of Christmas tree. And the sculpt, don't get me wrong, the sculpt on the Venom is great, the muscles look great, but it's those individual fibers that you see in Hulk's back that really make that piece stand out. Okay, you're saying like this section? Or yeah. Okay. And the interesting thing is you don't see them from the back because you don't have them displayed, you know, from the back. You have them displayed from the front. But, you know, I like that. Same thing with Venom. You know, you don't have them displayed from the back. You have them from the front. But who has the greater presence? Venom. Venom? Yeah, Venom, by far. Because the thing is, when you see the Hulk, when you first see it, yes, I like the green.
Yeah, but however, it's just that his hands just. When you look at it, but when you see Venom, you see that you see, okay, that's Venom.
Okay.
Of course we have, for some we do have the face that has the tongue.
The Brock.
Yeah, the Brock. The Eddie Brock, but he just looks more vicious than more intimidating than the Hulk. And I'm pretty sure it's just something about right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what about finish? XM quality finish compared to Xionart finish.
Well, again, for the exception of the pants, I like the Hulk's finish. Yeah, something about these veins, or I don't know if there's really supposed to be veins. They look a little too glossy for me. But as far as better, which one's better? Venom. It's just I can't overlook.
And the pants.
The pants.
And the torn shirt.
Yeah, the pants and the torn shirt. It just looks like it's dripping paint rather than it being a shirt. Mm-hmm. Here, it's veins. Yeah, it's a little glossy for my taste, but the finish is better over here on Venom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, it's Venom. I like the glossiness of the symbiote. Now, you were pointing out earlier when we set it up that the paint looked a little flat on Venom, but in the right light, Venom looks great. There's one picture that we took of just Venom by himself, and the light, the way that it angled off the glossy black, I mean, it just looked really good. I really like Venom. These are two of my favorite pieces. The only other piece that I would have here, and he's not even a Marvel character, is the Sideshow Lobo. I mean, that character has presence too, and I like the scale of that character. So one of the biggest reasons that I wanted to do this, this comparison was the scale, because I kind of feel this is the scale, at least for me.
As far as for collectors?
For collecting. I think there's other collectors that want that same scale too, but for me, this really works.
Just to add on to that, again, we always discuss the base, right?
Well, I want to get to that.
Yeah, right. It's like, where can I put this? And and it's hard to put something like this. However, when you see Venom, you can actually just move like a couple of. You can see how it fits on this table.
Doesn't take up too much real estate.
There you go. It may take up,
He's 20. He's 21 inches this way, 23 inches this way, but the base is maybe 12 inches.
You could fit him on a desk. For those that want to, they have desks at work that maybe you're allowed to bring something. You could probably fit it over there. Maybe not at your house.
Very good point, dude.
Something like that. Again, going back to the finish, I like Venom, and the reason I say that, which I forgot to say, if you ever look at it, if you can zoom in over here, I don't know if you can zoom in on his skin.
The texture?
Yeah, you see the texture. It looks like skin.
Yeah, no, you see that on his backside too. And again, that's the XM quality you get right there.
Again, what I like about Hulk, I like these wrinkles on the back on his heel. Again, that's it.
That little detail.
It's that little detail. But again, I just can't overlook this. My eyes want to focus right here. It looks like a blob of paint rather than being a ripped shirt.
Yeah, I get you. What it is that the sculpting is a little too thick, and maybe the paint application, so it doesn't look like a ripped shirt. It looks like a paint blob.
Yes.
And so that's just a point that Xionart can improve on.
Yeah.
But I like where you were going with the base. We said it in the review. I don't like how thick the base is. I like the design of the base, but I think it needs to be the same width that Venom is. It only needs to be about an inch thick. I don't need all that. I don't need all that earth underneath.
Yeah. Or if not, you could probably just, I really don't need the foot here. I mean, I like the touch for the, for the hydrant. But you could have probably stopped it right here.
Well, how about one over the other? Keep the foot, get rid of the manhole cover.
I like the manhole cover.
Do you?
Yeah.
All right.
Because it looks like metal.
But Venom, would you agree that Venom's base completely in design, in presentation, wins over the Hulk base?
Okay, as far as total, yes. However, I do like just the surface. You're correct as far as the thickness, and I don't like the rock. I don't care for it. But I like the I like the manhole cover. I like the fire hydrant. I'm not too particular about the foot, but I just like the presentation on top. But however, overall, this is much better. Yeah. It's almost it looks like a cover piece, like you would see on a comic book.
On a comic cover, but you get so much, and you get so many different angles where this is 3D, but it's just flat. you've got a sprocket going this way, you've got a piece of clock going this way, you've got the symbiotes curving. I mean, there's just so much more going on in this little space than you have in this 19 by 12 inch base right here.
Yeah, and again, don't get me wrong, guys. I mean, this is a phenomenal. It's a nice piece. It's just that, you know what? There's some areas which they can improve on.
Yeah, it's all we're always looking for how a company can do better. That's it. It's never our reviews, our comparisons are never to knock down that other company. It's where can you improve? Where can you rise up to be at their level? Where can they rise up to be at their level? Because again, some of these customizers are doing things that licensed companies aren't doing, and that's why customizers are making good money off their statues, is because they're giving fans what they're asking for. But Xionart is really trying to be something more than just a customizer.
That's good.
And so we want to encourage them. Hey, put more here, reduce this, add this, definitely work on your paint. I'm sitting here, and you may have seen my face, but right here at the top of this pant, if John can catch it, you can see where it's missing paint right there. It's kind of white. And again, that just goes to your testament about the paint app on Xionart's work. Where with Venom, you're really not going to find any paint. Now Diego's looking. You're really not going to find too many paint issues, and it looks really good. So, but again, this video, I wanted to do this because I wanted to compare the scale of the two. For me, they're pretty much ideal. Again, Hulk could be a little bit bigger. His proportions could be better, but side by side, I think they look great.
Yes.
We wanted to show you collectors. The last thing I bring up before we end is the price difference. So at retail, don't quote me, I didn't order Venom when he came out. I actually paid secondary market prices. But I got him for $1,400, but at retail, I want to say he was either $800 to $900. I don't remember. I got this again from a collector. He offered a good deal. I got this for $700. I don't remember what it was initially, but there's only 50 pieces of this where there's 1,000 pieces of this. But for $700, I'm decently content with that.
Again,
I'd love it to be $550.
And most collectors want to pay between $400 and to $750.
Yeah, $400 to $750 we're good.
Somewhere, on a scale like this, and we can outdish that, tomorrow.
Yeah.
And again, where people are having trouble is when you start charging, for a small collection like this, and you're charging $1,200 or $1,400. Wow. That's where that's where we kind of have issues. Like, wait a minute.
Well, you weren't online, but that was the discussion this weekend. Is that Iron Studios? They did a Lobo piece, right? And it's very ornate, it's very decorative, a lot going on. He's on his bicycle, or on his motorcycle, sorry. It's 1/6 scale, which is 12-inch scale, right? So I don't know the dimensions, but he's not gonna be as big as Venom. They're asking $1,000 for that thing. And collectors are like, whoa, what are you smoking? No.
Yeah, no.
No. So, that's another thing that we're trying to push against, but you collectors have to do your part too. When producers are overcharging for the size of a piece or the quality of a piece, don't pay it. If you pay it, they're gonna keep overcharging us. Like we said, $700 for this size Hulk. I think he's 26 inches. That's worth it. The retail on Venom, dude, you should have snapped it up like that. I picked it up at $1,400. If the movie does well, there's a trilogy. They're gonna make a trilogy.
Yeah.
If the movie does well, this thing's only gonna get hotter. So. Be wise with what you buy. Make sure that you look at the quality. Try to see it first in hand. Our YouTube videos and other YouTube videos are always nice. There's lighting. There's all kinds of deceptive things. You got to see this in person to actually appreciate it and say, wow, okay, I'm going to pay $1,200 for that. I'm going to pay $1,400 for that. So do everything you can to see it in person before you shell down that money. You don't have to jump at the pre-orders. I know that if you don't get the pre-orders, you're going to miss it. But if you're on some of the statue forums, you can actually catch these things for less than what they went retail. Today, before we came to film this, a guy was selling Pop Culture Shock 1/3 ninjas, the Reptile, the Sub-Zero, and the Scorpion, all three for $1,800. Dude, those were $1,000 when they came out.
And that's not bad.
Hell no, I wish I had.
Yeah. So if you're looking for, again, it was $3,000, $1,000
if you bought it retail.
So he's asking under that.
$1,800 for all three.
Is there anything wrong according to the pictures?
No, nothing.
Yeah.
And he's right here in El Paso, dude. I was just like, ah.
Rachel.
So look for the good deals. You don't always have to pre-order. We let you guys know when something's coming out, but if it's overpriced, don't jump on it. If it's a good price, jump on it, because you don't want to miss out. But if you feel it's overpriced, hey, we most likely agree with you. We wait.
Yeah, we wait.
I waited for Venom. I don't like to. I didn't like to shuffle in the line when the pre-orders come up, so I just waited. I picked it up from a trusted guy that I know, and I'm happy. I'm happy. It's a great piece.
Yeah, it is a good piece. And again, take a look at our video,
reviews.
our other reviews, and you'll see, how close we get into and the details that what you're getting into or what you're investing into.
Yeah, or come see us at any of the events that we attend, and you will actually get to see these bad boys in person, like we said, and you can judge for yourself. Like, you know what? I definitely want to spend the money to go and get that piece.
Exactly. Yes.
So, thanks for joining in again, and be sure to look for our other reviews, as Diego stated. Be sure to subscribe to our page, and we'll see you geeks next time.